Hey guys, what is going on? This is Anthony or Project Nova Zero, and I know if it's been a while, it's been about a year and a half or about a year since I've made a real video for you guys. For that, I apologize. College has been absolutely drilling me into the core. I've been so burnt out, it's not even funny. But I wanted to make a video today to talk about my Tesla experiences and some updates on what happened ever since I made my last Tesla video. Now, the last video I made, I do believe, was either the 6-month review or it was the V3 supercharging test. I'm not entirely sure which one it was. I do apologize for that. It has been a while. But anyways, the Model 3 has been serving me really well. The Standard Range Plus, ever since it debuted, honestly was and still is the best value for a Model 3 that you can get. You're not paying an over amount of money for an extra motor, a little faster 0 to 60. You're not paying for the performance. You're paying for the car. The Standard Range Plus, it gives you 240 miles, parenthetically, of range. And, you know, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. On my Model 3, I believe the max charge that I got was 224 miles on a full charge. Now, that may be my everyday driving on it. It probably wasn't the most efficient, but that's what I got as range. So take that as you will. My Model 3 did not give me the advertised 240 miles of range. Other than that, you know, the car has been pretty good. I drove it, you know, to Chicago. I've driven it to Cleveland. I've driven it all around the U.S. The 2 years that I've had it, I've driven it about 45,000 miles, which is absolutely insane. Will the normal person drive it that much? Probably not, but if you do like traveling, honestly, Model 3 is really nice. Now, I know that I am not in my Model 3 right now. I am in a Model S, and the way you can tell that is, well, the seats are kind of the same. These are actually adjustable. This has the full glass roof. So I'm not in my Model 3 because you would notice there'd be a pillar. Also, headliners. My headliners are black. Now, the reason for this is because, well, I got rid of it. The reason why I got rid of it were a couple key factors. Number one, I thought the car was a little bit too small for me. I'm a really big guy. It may look like it on video probably, but in real life, I'm also really big. So having a smaller car just felt a little bit cramped and unproportionate for me. The second thing is my uncle's in a wheelchair, which means I have to take the wheelchair apart when I need to take him to his, you know, his physical therapy, his checkups. I have to take him, you know, basically everywhere. So when I actually have to undo his wheels and everything, I had to actually stick his entire, I had to put my seats down and then take everything apart and then stick it in the trunk and then in the back seats. So it was causing accelerated wear and tear in the seats and on the trims. And I didn't like that. I like keeping my things in great condition. So when it came to trunk space, the Model 3 was just too small for what I needed. The next reason why I got rid of the Model 3 was because it was never the Tesla that I wanted to get. The original reason I got the Model 3 was to buy it, use it for Uber, and then use the Uber money to pay for the Model S. Now, what ended up happening was I tried reporting to my insurance company that I'm going to be using it for drive sharing for Uber, and they actually raised my insurance on a Model 3 from $160 a month to $398 a month to ride share. So, you know, that's an insurance. That's not even the car payment. I couldn't do that. I definitely couldn't do that. So I did not end up using it for Uber, and I just used it as my everyday driver. And for that purpose, it did very well. But there came a point to where I figured, you know, the Model 3s are selling really well right now secondhand. And honestly, if I can sell my Model 3 and then recoup some of the money and then put it as a down payment for a Model S, I might as well do it, you know? So what I end up doing was I listed my Model 3 on Facebook Marketplace. I put it for $34,000. I put all the specs and everything on it, all the aftermarket accessories I put onto it. You know, the carbon fiber spoiler, the carbon fiber dash from Petit Sportline. I included all that into the description. And, you know, I got a few responses, nothing concrete. And then I got this one guy who said, would you take $32,000 for it? I said, no, I'll do 33, but that's like the very lowest I'll do. Because if I sell for $33,000, that could give me $8,000 as a down payment once I pay off all of my loans on the Model 3. Ultimately, after, you know, exchanging information, he ultimately decided to buy the car. So that was fantastic. So I ended up selling it, getting the $8,000, whatever it was, and I actually put it as a down payment for this car. So the car I'm in today is a 2017 Tesla Model S 75D. The reason why I got this car was because it was the exact one I was looking for. It was a 75D, so it wasn't as expensive as a 100D or P100D. It had the black exterior and the black premium interior with the all-glass roof. It's hard finding those 2017s with the all-glass roof because some of them have the panoramic sunroof, which some people love. I actually don't like. I actually like the all-glass roof. So that was one of the big deciding factors for me. And on top of that, it had 34,000 miles. Now, this car was listed at $43,000. That's insane for a Model S, especially one of this caliber. And I went there, I saw the car, I fell in love with it. It's uncorked, so it goes 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, which is way faster than my standard range plus Model 3. And after talking with the dealership, we ultimately came to a compromise. I would buy the car for $40,000. So I put my deposit down, I sold my Model 3 to the guy, and I put it as a down payment, and now here I am with my Model S. So when I bought my Model 3 originally, it was the standard range plus. That's $37,000 because it was the $2,000 upgrade from the standard range configuration, and I paid $3,000 for autopilot. I did not put full self-driving on the car because I thought for an extra $5,000 it wasn't that great of a deal because I'm going to be getting rid of I knew I was going to be getting rid of it within 2 to 3 years anyways. So it just didn't make sense then, and it really helped me in the end because Tesla has now started removing full self-driving once someone transfers ownership of the vehicle. So once I transferred that ownership to the new owner, there wouldn't be any full self-driving. That would have been $5,000 completely wasted. Now, this car was supposed to come with enhanced autopilot. I actually have footage of me looking at the car, taking photos of it, and it has the enhanced autopilot on the car. Now, when I transferred ownership, it got bumped down to regular autopilot. I didn't think that was really cool because it didn't go through Tesla. They didn't really have a right to remove it. There was no warning saying, hey, when you transfer ownership, enhanced autopilot goes away. So I'm actually speaking to my attorney about this. This might escalate to something. I tried reaching out to Tesla, and their best response was, go after the dealership. How can I go after a dealership selling something that says enhanced autopilot, and they advertise it as enhanced autopilot? It doesn't make any sense. So, I have to deal with that, so that's not fun. But ultimately, I am really enjoying this car. Even if I don't get that enhanced autopilot, or whatever, if nothing comes of that, $40,000 is an amazing value for this car. I got it ceramic coated literally 2 days after I picked it up. I got it tinted. I got the 15% tint all around the vehicle, except the full. I did not tint the windshield. I only tinted the top of it. I didn't want to do the full thing because I drive at night a lot, and I feel like that would have an effect to my vision. So yeah, honestly, this car is fantastic. I've been liking it so much, I might do a review on it, but ultimately, it's been just it's been great for me. Compared to the Model 3 when it comes to actually driving quality, I do believe this is better. I feel like I have more control because of the two motors, and on top of that, this Model S actually does not have air suspension. It has the older coil-based suspension, or the non-smart air suspension. And at first, I was kind of bummed out about that when I was looking at the car, because I'm like, I really wanted that extra luxurious feature because it is a Model S. You would want air suspension. But I'll be frank, I've taken test drives in a air suspended Model S, and I've driven in this one, and the difference between the two, at least with the pre-Raven Model S's, is like negligible. There's like barely any difference whatsoever. It's been smooth. I've asked my father, he says it feels like 100 times better, and ultimately I have to agree with him. Like the smoothness of the Model S is just, it's unparalleled with any other car, even the Model 3. I'm sorry, but you know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the bigger coils, who knows. Going back to my Model 3, another big thing here is a boost in range. Not a huge boost, but really if I'm paying the same amount for the car and I get a little slight range increase, it's still an increase nevertheless. My Model 3, would usually get about 221, 222 miles of range on a full charge. And this exact model, the 75D, was advertised at 256 miles on a full charge. I have actually been able to get realistically 240 to 241 miles on a full charge, and that is with my driving habits. And I'm also in Florida where it's very hot, and you have to keep the AC on, the car has to keep the battery cold. It's it's a lot of stress on the car, but I'm really happy with the overall range of the vehicle. I haven't taken the Model S so far on any far road trips. The farthest I've actually driven in this was from the dealership back to where I live, and that is in Orlando. So that was maybe like a 2-hour drive, 2.5-hour drive because of traffic, and that was the farthest I've driven this car, and it handled like a champ. Like, this car is just, it's a beast. It really is. Even though it's technically 4 years old, it is still one like monster of an electric vehicle. I do apologize for that interruption. My phone got too hot and it would not record any footage. So I'm at the supercharger now. I'm at the V3 supercharger. And the one thing I've noticed about this Model S compared to my 3 is it charges a lot slower. So right now it's at 48 miles on the range. It's at, it's jumping up right now. It's at 83 kilowatts. The max I've seen this go was 115, and then after about 30% of the battery, it started tapering down to 60 to 70. That's just, I guess, how it goes with these older Model S's. So that is something you need to look forward or look at when looking at an older Model S. In my opinion, I think if you are looking for a used Model S, try to go after a December 2016 and forward. I would stay clear of the Autopilot 1 Teslas, because honestly they're dropping a lot in value, and you can't really future-proof yourself with that car. With this one, since it's a 2.0, you can put the full self-driving computer in there with the MCU2, and it goes from a 2017 Model S to a pre-refresh 2020 Model S. I have no comment about the 2020 refreshed Model S because, for one, they don't exist yet, really, just the testing cars. 2, I hate the fact that they got rid of the driving stock. And 3, they're just very expensive, and I realistically can't even think about getting one of those cars right now. But anyways, yeah, so the best value, in my opinion, is a 2017 and above Model S, maybe 2016 if it has 2.0. I would look on Car Gurus. That is how I found this Model S, and I've seen them nationwide. I've seen some blue Model S 75Ds going for like $39,000 with like 50,000 miles. That's a great deal. It's like, why bother even buying? Why bother buy a brand new Model 3 for $39,000, $40,000 when you can get a couple years older Model S for the same price? I mean, it's a few years older, it's used, it has more wear than a brand new car. If you want a Model S and you're thinking about just going for the Model 3 because it's more affordable, honestly, just buy a used Model S. That way, you're not regretting it because you do have the car that you want. It costs about the same, and you can just do the hardware upgrade for $2,000 now. It's like a no-brainer. Just go for that. So far, my first impressions with this car is I'm really happy with it. I do have a few problems with it, like there are a few panel misalignments. The position sensor in the trunk is not working properly, but luckily my car's still under warranty, so I put in a service, so they're going to go and they're going to fix everything that's wrong with the car. And, you know, ultimately I'm going to get a perfectly working 2017 Model S for $40,000, which is absolutely insane. You know, back in 2014, 2015, I used to go to the mall near my house. I used to go inside the Tesla dealership and look at the Model S and be like, I really want that car. Like, it's crazy. But it was like $120,000. I'm sitting in the car that I've wanted. This is like my dream car. So I am so grateful for this car. I love this car. I love it 100 times more than the Model 3. And ultimately, I can't wait to start making content with this vehicle. It's truly an amazing car. And if you are on the plate on getting a new Model 3 or a used Model S, in my opinion, I definitely recommend you get the used Model S. It's just such a more luxurious ride, feels great, looks fantastic. Also, it has a hatchback, so you get much more space than you would with a Model 3. Anyways, guys, this is Anthony, or Project Nova Zero, and I will catch you in the next video. Have a good one. Also, guys, I forgot to mention, if you do decide to buy a brand new Model S, X, 3, or Y, if you use my code, you will get 1,000 miles of free supercharging. So that takes effect right when you get the vehicle, right when it's delivered. And in turn, I will also get 1,000 miles of free supercharging. So if you guys would like to use my code, I will have it on the screen or in the description below. Again, this is Anthony, or Project Nova Zero, and you have a great day. See ya.